but you say, no, I'll just be content with 10. It can come from selfishness. Can you imagine what you can do with the blessing of having more than enough? Amen? Action number 4. The truly rich always live below their means and have no bad debts. How many of you have debts? Raise your hand. Say this with me while raising your hand. A day will come, I will have no debts. I'm not including here business debts. Business debts are good. They're investments and so on. But debts for consumables, debts for a ref, for a TV set, these things are not good. I compare people who have debts. I compare people who earn a lot. Do you know of people who go abroad and who go to their, they go to their children and say, daughter, I'll just have to go to Hong Kong 2 years only just to pay the debts and just to build maybe our house, and after that I'll come back. 2 years later they come back. What happens? I still have to go back to Hong Kong, and 20 years later what happens? They're still going abroad. They're still going abroad. Brothers and sisters, I call it the financial treadmill. Financial treadmill are people who earn money. And they earn money. They earn good money every month, except that they spend it all. They have no investments. Everybody say that. I'm not talking about savings. Savings is something that you put in your alcansya. Savings is what you put in the bank. That's not investments. Investment is that which you put into a mutual fund, an equity fund. That's what you put in your business. That's what you put in real estate. Because if you put it in the bank, inflation will eat that up. I'm not talking about savings. I'm talking about investment. When you have an investment, whether it's a business or whether it's real estate or whether it's some investment fund, a mutual fund, an equity fund, a bond fund, you know what happens? You get out of the treadmill. If I am in the treadmill, what I earn, I spend. I don't have investments, so I keep on running. And sometimes it's fun because I'm earning money. But if I spend it all out, am I going anywhere? Do you feel this way sometimes? You feel this way sometimes? You go to work, and then you run as fast as you can, but you're going nowhere. Tell someone beside you, get off the treadmill. Start going somewhere. Amen? How? The key is investments. Tell someone beside you, start investing. Brother Bo, I don't know a single thing about investing. Then you learn. You attend seminars and you read books and you ask for mentors. You have to do this because you can. You actually can do it. Amen? Action number 6. The truly rich prefer profits than wages. And action number 7. The truly rich have a dream team and use OPM, OPT, and OPI, which means other people's money and other people's time and other people's ideas. And that's what I do. Brothers and sisters, do you want to be truly rich, not for yourself, but for the Lord? Amen? This is my experience. Let me tell you one last story. There was this very, very rich man who did not have kids. And so he told one of the caretakers of his land, he said, you know what? I don't have kids. I want to give you a part of my land. Tomorrow morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, meet me at the edge of my property. So the very next day, 6 in the morning, the owner of the land met with his caretaker, one of the farmers. And, the rich man said, whatever you step on, yours. And he said, what? He said, yeah, whatever you step on in my land will be yours. He gave him a flag. And he said, just step on it, and then somewhere along the way, if that's the property you want, plant your flag, come back to me. My rule is 6 o'clock in the afternoon, you come back to me. You stand in front of me, 6 o'clock in the afternoon. Now this rich man had an enormous property. And so, question, did that guy walk? Did that guy walk? What did he do? The rule was whatever you step on becomes yours. What did he do? If you were that guy, what would you have done? You would have run. You would have run and run and run. Wow, everything I'm stepping on is mine. At about 12 o'clock noon, he was running for 6 hours. He said, 12 o'clock. 6 hours. I have 6 in the afternoon. I have to go back. Right? Right? He said, nah, I can run faster going back. There's so much more land. There's so much more land. 3 in the afternoon. He's saying, oh, I need to stop. I've got 3 hours more to go back. 6 o'clock in the afternoon. No, I'll really run fast, really fast. So he keeps on running forward. Finally, at 5 in the afternoon, he plants his flag and says, that's it. I have 1 hour to go back. You think he was able to make it? No. He went back. He started running back. He started running as fast as he could. He didn't reach 6 o'clock in the afternoon in front of the owner. The owner was waiting there, and the farmer, the guy was running, he could not make it. Brothers and sisters, he collapsed. Somewhere in the middle, when the sun was down, he collapsed. He had a heart attack because of the exhaustion, and he died. Did he inherit anything? He did. A small piece of property. 6 feet by 3 feet. That's all. That's all he got. I'm going to give you a rule. Because after this talk, you're going to make changes in your life. After this talk, you're going to stop borrowing for consumables. Amen? You can borrow for investments. You can borrow for business, but not for consumables. Brothers, you're going to make changes. You're going to make changes with your psychology. Amen? Put your hands over me and say, I'm wealthy and I'm generous. You're going to change your theology of money. And you know what's going to happen? You will start experiencing wealth. Some of you will start a little business. Some of you will start an investment. Some of you will do this. And guess what's going to happen? You're going to get rich. But I'm reminding you something. You still have to run back. Don't put all your energies there. You still have to run back. Amen? You plant your flag. Know when to stop. Know when to stop and say, this is it. I've got to go back. Because I haven't told you the ending of the story. The ending of the story is this. When he went back to the master at 6 o'clock in the afternoon, the master says, let's meet tomorrow. Where? Where your flag is. I want you to run again. I want you to run again. From where you planted your flag. You got what I'm saying? Same rule. 6 in the afternoon, come back. The third day, we're going to do it again. You know, every time you grow your wealth, you know where to go back to. You go back to God, the owner of your wealth. Amen? I'll tell you a secret. As God has, I run 7 businesses. I was poor. I was so poor before. I wrote about that. When I would go to a restaurant a long time ago, I would have to pull out my wallet and count if I have enough money to buy a burger. At that time, I was still eating burgers. Brothers and sisters, now I can bring my friends and I could treat them. You know, I've invested in apartments and condos. I invest in the Philippine stock market, in the U.S. stock market. God has blessed me. I'm not very, very rich, but I'm rich enough to be generous. Amen? But you know what? I have more time for God. I have more time for my family. I'm almost a full-time father. I really am. I play with my kids more. It's amazing. It really is. Because I know how to go back. In my pursuit for wealth, I know how to go back. Amen? I give more than my tithes. I'm going to challenge you to do that. Don't stick with 10%. You know? As God prospers you, give more. Next year, give 11. Next year, give 13. Next year, give 15. Amen? Live a simple life. Live simply. As your income increases, live simply so there's more room for giving and sharing. Amen?
so much for your monthly tithes and love offering to Kerygma family, without which this broadcast won't be possible. We know that God will reward you abundantly for your generosity. God bless you.